Get your nose out of that microphone. I'll kill you. I mean, I don't have to edit it anymore, but I'll kill you on Boston's behalf.
I avoid breathing into the microphone as much as possible. Because I don't like it.
It makes sense that Boston would have a hit out on him. I've heard that clip.
What?
I've heard that clip where Mackie takes down all Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I was kind of a dick to Boston, wasn't I? The city, not the person.
Right.
Hey, watch live now. Bad movie Fiends.
That's why I was
That's why I say
making the jokes.
Yeah, wasn't the title of the video "We're Sorry, Boston"?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I don't think I said anything negative about Boston. Maybe I did.
I did. I said enough for all of us. Because fuck that racist city.
Maybe I did. Hey.
Hey. We got to talk about how he enters the room.
Live chat.
Ah, you got the perfect picture. Well done.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't have my glasses on. I don't know what I picked.
Two beefed-up twins operating on opposite sides of the law team up to stop a nefarious crook in this actioner.
Actioner?
Actioner.
Who talks like that? Which dickhead
Whoever
talks
wrote
like
the
that?
copy on Letterboxd for 1992's Double Trouble,
I believe
directed by John Paragon.
The correct word is actioneer.
Actioner? Actioner?
Peter Jade is a notoriously arrogant burglar who ends up with the key to an enormous underground cache of diamonds. David Jade is a cop who joins forces with Peter after greedy Philip Chamberlain, wanting the diamonds for himself, kills David's partner. There is no punctuation at the end, so I don't know how to finish that sentence.
Diamonds.
Yes. David
No, stop that.
wanting the
No,
diamonds for himself. They're about to find out.
I like the you have figured out the vocal equivalent of the soundtrack to this movie.
Pretty much.
You're reading it in the same cadence.
Oh, God. Jens is going to listen to the soundtrack of this movie and just, like, smash all of the speakers. Everything in his house that can play sound. He's going to be like, no! Make it stop.
It's a song that never ends.
It's worse than that because it sounds like hold music because it's got that weird like unsettlingly upbeat sort of thing going on that just repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats.
Yeah, but it's hold music if you called a honky tonk in hell.
Yes,
because it's got that honky tonk kind of piano thing happening, and then a little bit of the Stevie Ray Vaughan, like I want to slide guitar like a maestro, but then just we did all the cocaine.
Yeah. Mackie was right that, or one of you, whoever it was, I can't tell you guys apart anymore. One of you was right that the drummer was really going after it, but in that one track,
Yeah.
Over
the credits?
yes, that's what it was. He was whipping them skins.
Yeah.
But also, I can just imagine that it's like this 65-year-old studio musician with no facial expression whatsoever, just
the most intimidating drummer of all.
that sort of thing.
Like Buddy Rich. He didn't show a ton of emotion when he played some crazy shit.
It's usually how it goes, man. Best people, like, no guitar face, no nothing.
Oh, man, if you're not giving guitar face, then I don't even want to listen to it. I can hear that you're not giving guitar face.
You're a big John Mayer fan, then.
No, actually. He does it too much.
He is the king of guitar face.
He does it too much. He is, like, I know he's good, right?
Yeah.
But also, too much. He is guitar facing too much. Look at Stevie Ray Vaughan. Watch Stevie Ray Vaughan play. That's some fucking guitar face.
Yeah.
That's how you guitar face. If you're a fan of bass face, watch Esty Haim from the band Haim in any of her live performances.
I prefer Prince's guitar face, where it's just like, I just made that stinky. It's like, ew.
Yeah. Prince is very good at it.
Yeah.
He's like, this shit's raw.
Yeah,
it's kind of unfair to say Prince.
Well,
right?
sure. I know, but I just mean like that one particular look. Like it's just like I just cooked the shit out of that. And, yeah, it's like ugh, yeah.
I guess if you want to see the master class in guitar face, while my guitar gently weeps, the tribute.
When he throws his guitar up to God and God catches it.
Yes.
God's like, I got it, bro.
Every once in a while I read a new theory on that or something, like it fell behind and you just couldn't see it because of the camera work. I'm like, no, he threw it to the Lord, and the Lord was like, oh, thank you, Prince.
Been wanting one of these for my wall.
Yeah, right.
It's mostly all harps up there right now.
Right. I think everybody else that like played guitar really well was pretty much guaranteed to go to hell.
Is that like a Robert Johnson theory, or
No, that's just like all the
okay.
good guitar players did drugs and
All right.
rock and roll. And Sister Rosetta Tharpe, she's probably in heaven. I assume Rosetta Tharpe is in heaven, if there is a heaven. But everyone else is in hell.
is that like a singing nun or something?
No, I don't know why she's called Sister Rosetta Tharpe. I just made an assumption there.
Did she play Gidget?
No, she did not.
Oh. Well, then she's definitely in hell. I'm sorry.
I mean, there's one guitar player alive that's got a free pass to heaven. I'm not going to utter any names as to. I know the power of this podcast, and I'm not doing anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Are they exceptionally old?
They're not young. Think Saint on Earth right now. It's a pretty good guitar player. Maybe not known for that. Like, that's not their forte per se, but listen to a song or two, and it's pretty badass.
Is it a band that a bunch of people made
one
fun
person,
of?
One person that's saintly. Everyone thinks they're saintly, regardless of creed, it seems.
Oh. I think I
Okay.
know who you're talking about. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Just let it go.
Yeah, as long as we don't tweet at them.
Yeah,
they-
I'm not.
they get
Like I
to
said,
live.
I don't even want to take a chance. That's how
Okay.
afraid I am of our powers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a few we've taken out with the power of our tweets.
And if we somehow, if I even uttered the words and like tomorrow I read something, I would feel bad. I would want fans to stop listening to us.
Well, it's like whenever.
Oh, okay. I think I know.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever.
Does this artist also play saxophone occasionally?
That I've never seen, but maybe.
Now we're all confused.
now
We're all thinking of three different people. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Oh well. No
Or
worries.
kill the mic and we'll kill the live feed mic.
It doesn't matter.
No, he doesn't want to
God.
kill him.
No, I mean, like, I am not a superstitious person, but like, I'm literally like,
Okay.
don't want to
we-
say words right
we
now.
have
Like,
smited-
like, it's fucking stupid.
I think
like,
I
it's
know who
really,
you're talking about.
Smited lesser humans
It's-
with
yeah.
our power.
it's.
All
I mean,
right.
I'm literally like, I said something about Betty White shortly before, and I was,
Oh no.
yeah, and I'm like, no, but I mean, granted, she was 100 fucking years old, but I mean, like,
Not quite.
well, yeah,
And you killed her.
well,
Well, hello to the 0 people that are watching.
cheers.
Did
I
you
got
put
a-
it in the
Fuck, no,
Discord?
I didn't. Of
I
course
got
I
a
didn't.
Tumblr
Why would I?
full of Tumblr full of whiskey.tumblr.com.
Oh no. I think you were shushing your.
I know, my ice maker.
Your ice maker.
I know. I like to hush my robots.
You're setting yourself up.
No, we're just setting some ground rules. I'm not hurting them. They're not hurting me. Just preaching silence.
Now I have placed it in the Discord.
Oh hey.
So the one person that shows up every week will be here.
Hey.
Hi.
You gotta at everyone. Hey, get in here! At everyone.
That's what I have people just coming in like angrily, like, "What are you doing? What are you saying?"
Increasing our engagement. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. Engagement. All right, let me go blow my nose before we start this. I don't want to start.
You should do that.
The sniffles party.
Yeah. Goodbye.
See ya, Earth Cowboy.
See, look at him. He's carrying a die on his back.
Nice. What is ISS Vanguard?
It is a campaign RPG type thing.
Okay.
It's basically Mass Effect, the board game.
Okay, so it sucks. Just kidding. I just don't like it. I didn't like the first one. It was very boring, and the combat was terrible.
The first Mass Effect I really like, but it's not good.
It's a hard start, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're immediately thrown into bad combat.
2 plays a lot better and has better characters.
Yeah, 2 also, like, your aim makes a difference as to what you're doing, not just invisible dice rolling.
And it doesn't do the Mako thing.
Yeah.
That sucks.
No, but you get to do planetary scanning.
The Mako was kind of fun for a few minutes, but
Until a worm blew up your ship.
as a vehicle,
Yeah.
like whose point is to traverse from point A to point B, it sucks.
Did you try the original, or did you try the new remastered?
This was the original before the remastered.
Because
so-
didn't they fix the Mako a little in their remastered stuff?
Yes, I believe they brought the remastered more in line with how the rest of the games played. I never played it, though. The
And the
remastered.
And a whole new group of people got mad. I remember that the Mako was drivable.
Not so
People
bad.
like Chuck. Chuck loved the Mako. And I was like, listen, man, I have all 1,000 points in that game because I didn't have a job.
Hey, if you like
and
the
I can
Mako,
tell you.
let me tell you about a game called Jelly Car.
That doesn't sound like fun.
I remember Jelly Car
Yeah,
as well.
actually, I think there's a new Jelly Car actually just came out recently. Like,
Jelly Car 2.
yeah, it might be. I don't. It's or
Electric Boogaloo.
Jelly Cars, or something like that.
Mm.
But yeah.
Jelly Carson.
I want to say it's actually an Apple Arcade. That might be why I know
Oh.
that it exists, because it was like 10 fucking years after the original. I was like, yeah, you're about right, because that was on like that like 360 indie lab
I'm pretty
thing
sure
or
it
whatever
was,
it was
yes.
called, the ID at Xbox or whatever.
Yep.
When they were like, hey, look at these weird games you're going to start getting that
Yeah.
don't have to cost $5 minimum. We're going to have like, because remember, I think like they were like, they had like a $5 minimum when
It
it
had to
first
be at
started.
least 400
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, and they were like, no, you're going to have like 99-cent games now. Woohoo!
And everyone flipped out over 200 points for horse armor.
And Jelly Car is fun and silly, but not a thing I would want to rely on to reliably get my character in a realistic video game from point A to point B.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Jellicus Carruthers.
It's like, just one of those ragdoll simulators. Like,
Mhm.
it'd be
Right.
like if that was Death Stranding. Like, here's how you get down the mountain. Whoa!
Bonk, bonk,
Yeah.
bonk, bonk.
Yeah, the only one I feel that really did that right was Goat Simulator, personally.
Sure, I mean, but that's just a dumb physics.
Yeah, it was just
toy box,
stupidity.
basically,
Yeah.
Sandbox, whatever.
But it was consistently hilarious, which is all I wanted.
Yeah. I thought about trying. I don't know if it's from the same people, but it looks in the same vein. That one called Who's Your Daddy, where it's like, I don't know if I think it can be played co-op, but like you're either an infant or the dad, like trying to keep the infant from killing itself, and the infant is basically like just running around trying to like stick forks in sockets and things like that.
So it's like
It's a life simulation
Yeah.
Yeah.
of being a parent.
But like I think in the co-op, it's like somebody gets to play the baby and just try to cause havoc while the other person tries to put out the
Okay,
fires.
So you get to play
you get to
the
troll
infuriating
your
part
parents.
of Untitled Goose Game.
Sure. Yeah.
I like it.
Anywho. Shall we light this?
Sure.
I mean, no one's here, but we still got to do a podcast.
Yeah, who cares?
So do we still want to do a clap or something for the?
Yes.
Okay, for space.
We do. We should.
Yes, because I have informed Boston that the
Of the
clap
claps.
is coming.
So he
Okay.
doesn't have to listen to this
Right.
banter.
That there's always like 10, 15 minutes of bullshit here.
Sorry.
That's not worth listening to.
Yep.
All right. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
Hey.
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 578.
Woo.
Woo.
Woo. Numbers indeed.
Mm-hmm.
What? No one said numbers. So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot jocks.
Robot Jocks.
Yes, the
good.
pinnacle. However, there are bad movies. So stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags and giant bags of trash.
Boo.
Yuck.
Yes. Think Forbidden Zone. Or think, not don't thank it. Just think it.
Right.
I thank it for giving
Yeah.
us.
Thank it for giving
Bad
it the
rating.
bottom ratings.
Yep.
I have a quick anecdote.
Oh.
A friend of mine texted me out of the blue the other day, and it just said, fucking robot jocks, ! And that was it. And I was like, I replied with fucking robot jocks.
Mm-hmm.
That was the end of the conversation. I didn't even have to ask.
It's a good conversation, though.
It's a good conversation. Yeah.
Mhm.
Shout out to my friend Penn if you're listening, and if that's why you were listening or
good
why you
job,
sent me
Penn.
that, then hell yeah.
You can text. You can both text.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So,
we didn't watch that this week.
we did not watch Robot Jocks. We've seen that. That already formed a system of ratings that aforementioned.
It's pretty good.
However, we are just working through the stack of random crap that we've had on the backlog. And that brings us to 1992's Double Trouble, starring the Barbarian Brothers. They do not make that noise.
They
in
do
this
not.
movie.
No.
In this movie.
They make a bunch of other dumb noises.
What was that? Was that the trucking movie where they did all the time, or was that the actual Barbarian one?
Think big.
Yeah,
No doubt about
yeah,
it.
That's the
No doubt about it.
yeah.
Yeah, we've seen them in
Several
more
movies?
movies than we probably should have.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
in DC. Was it
not
DC
us.
Cab the first one?
Yes.
Yeah, and then there was it the New Barbarians? Is that what it's called? The one?
DC Cab, The
The
Barbarians.
Okay.
Think big. No doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
And apparently they were in Natural Born Killers, but their scenes were deleted.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we've kind of hit most of their filmography at this point.
Well, that's a real shame.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are with
There's one more that features them.
Yeah, is
Twin Sitters.
Oh, I was gonna say
Oh.
it felt like it might be a western. I was gonna ask if it was a western. It just felt like the missing piece of their action, silly action.
Yeah, I
Kid
would
comedy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would watch them as Western cowboys or
Yeah,
sheriffs
just as
or
like
some
I mean,
shit.
just think of the fun. Like give them like slightly too small horses, and like just anyway. Yes, but this one, 1992's Double Trouble. The Barbarian Brothers, David and Peter,
Yes.
Paul and Mary.
Their last name is Paul. So Peter Paul and David Paul.
Correct.
No,
The
Marys.
characters they are
Maybe they had
playing
a
are
sister named Mary.
the characters they're playing are Peter Jade and David Jade.
Okay.
So they're pulling a Tony Danza.
Oh yeah. Hey.
I think it would be more
Angela.
interesting if David Paul was playing Peter Jade and Peter Paul was playing David Jade.
Oh, that's like so trippy, man. Can't do that.
But no, alas, they are playing Peter and David.
Yeah, one's a cop, a detective, and the other is a thief. I mean, at this
cat
point,
burglar.
a cat burglar. He basically went to prison and did what a lot of people think prison does, and made him better at crime because he was just a low rent, jacking cars and stereos and stuff, and went to prison. We find this out later in the movie, but just to get a cameo, basically, Mr. C, played by David Carradine. Was apparently his mentor. There's just a scene where he goes to visit him in prison, and that's literally the only reason David Carradine's there. He's got to eat.
And you know what, man?
He needs some kung food.
I always feel bad because like David Carradine keeps showing up in these shit movies like Karate Cop and all these other things for like one scene, and he fucking destroys it for like one. Like he always shows up for like 2 minutes in these direct-to-video bullshit things and just fucking kills.
Oh sure, he's just
He's so good.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and it's like, why did it take to get it till he got back in Kill Bill for anybody to be like, David Carradine's actually pretty good?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, but apparently he was his mentor and taught him
Yeah.
how to do proper cat burglary because he stepped up and became a big shot after getting out of jail. But
Yep.
I'm skipping ahead.
Yes.
He I think we see the cop brother first. I believe. No, actually, we start with Roddy Piper. You got me doing it now.
Roddy McDowell.
You got
Roddy McDowell.
You kept saying Roddy McDowell, and you got me saying Roddy Piper. Roddy
just poisoning each other.
Roddy McDowell, who I know who he is. I know he's not the other guy. He's the one from Planet of the Apes. Is the bad guy in this. I believe we see them break in and do their whole catch the guy at the airport thing first.
Yeah, the movie starts out with a guy getting picked up from the airport by Bill Mummy,
Yes.
who you said looks like, in the very beginning, looks like a young, thin Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, it's
like
funny.
his face
I
is very
like
Giamatti-esque
I
at
forgot
this point.
Bill Mummy was in this.
Yep.
Like I forgot that from looking at the cast, and then I just couldn't put it back together. Despite now like seeing that, I'm like, oh yeah, clearly that's Bill Mummy. I know what he looks like, but somehow in this with this like ratty kind of red haired like slick back ponytail thing, balding slick back ponytail. You know, it just like I said, he just strikes me as like I could not get the Giamatti out of my vibe out of my head.
Yep. But he is the driver, and he takes this guy who's got the ye old briefcase handcuffed to the wrist thing, and he's transporting something and apparently going to Johannesburg, South Africa.
Well, yeah, that's where you get the blood diamonds.
Yes, where he'll have diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic.
So I've heard. And it goes bad for that guy because
it doesn't go as bad as you think. I mean, Roddy McDowell shows up. God damn, I'm going to do this an entire episode. What's his fucking name in the movie?
I've inceptioned you.
Yes,
into
you
this.
have. What's his name in the movie?
Philip Chamberlain.
All right, Chamberlain. That's what he's going to be. Chamberlain
yeah.
now until it becomes Richard Chamberlain in my head.
Yep.
But yeah, but yes, they do a fake out because he's got. It's not the Jaws of Life, but it's like it's a metal saw basically. You know,
It's an angle grinder.
Yeah, angle grinder, and
Big ass angle grinder.
and it looks like they show you a shot of the guy's wrist that he's because I jokingly said like you were saying, has anyone ever done this or seen this, and I was like, I've actually seen somebody with something
in real life.
Yeah, I've seen somebody with a briefcase handcuffed to their wrist, but I said it's also a real good way to get your hand cut off because it's a lot easier than cutting through chain.
Yep.
But they give you a fake out, but he ends up just knifing through the briefcase and getting.
Well, he actually gets not the very easy way out, but the most easy way out that you could usually get in this situation is they just shoot him in the chest and he's dead, so he doesn't have to endure anything. Yeah,
but they saw the top of the briefcase off, and all they really want is a little.
Yeah, there's some diamonds and like some bearer bonds, it looks like, or something, and then a funky hotel key.
Yeah. I actually really like this key prop. It is extremely highly polished, either aluminum or steel, and it's just got it looks like what it is, like a super important sort of key. And like we joked that it's a hotel key.
But it looks also like a metal punch card, sort of. For
right,
an old
it's like got cutouts on the side. It's just
sorry,
and
a
it's
punch
also,
card is a way.
and it's also
making old man references.
A 1992 movie.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is you're used to people slapping a card on a reader,
right,
and having it.
This is like you can tell like this thing goes ka-chunk into a door, right?
Exactly.
They also do a really good job of using the key to reflect light from somewhere into the camera and making just this nice little flash here and there.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing about the camera work in this movie is catching the light from that key.
Yeah,
it's very good.
I actually think this is like a well-lit, well-shot movie for the most part.
It is actually.
Like in a weird way, like in a way that this doesn't deserve.
I would give to you that it's well lit. My biggest problem, I was kind of save this to the end for the ratings portion, but since you brought it up, since I brought it up actually, there's so many super tight shots, that I hate, because we are so fucking close to people, and in several scenes, people are uncomfortably close to each other because the camera shot is so tight. And it just gave me a feeling of unease in some ways. I was like, fucking relax, pull the camera back, let the scene breathe a little bit. And that's the most film nerdy I've probably been all year. But it annoyed.
No, but I understand what you're saying.
But you're right. It is a nice, evenly lit movie, unlike a lot of things like this.
And
so
I want you to know,
somebody clearly went, let's make the lighting high and let's make the lighting low and let's make it good. Sorry, that was a John B. joke.
Because
making the lighting high, making the lighting low.
I also want you to know that this director of photography, in here he's credited as cinematographer. He's the director of photography for Three Ninjas.
Oh,
same year, hell of a year.
Wow.
for John Millichak.
First double
Richard
trouble,
Millichak.
then Three Ninjas.
Is it?
Richard Michalak.
Is it?
Michalak. Michalak.
Yeah, yeah. Give a dog a bone. Yeah.
We're not doing another stealth theme month or theme year.
No,
or whatever.
we are
Okay.
not.
Yeah, this is our secret Pee Wee's Playhouse theme year.
But
Right.
this guy shot both Think Big and Three Ninjas. Or not Think Big, damn, Double Trouble and Three Ninjas in the same year.
And JFK.
And he shot the movie JFK.
No, the band.
Yeah, in the
Breaking
same year.
news.
Yeah.
Breaking.
Turns out it was not 1963. It was 1992.
Yeah. But anyway, I like it's just weird how well lit so much of this is early on. But yes, there is a claustrophobic sense too. I think it doesn't help that these guys have heads that are just like so steroid injected that they're like 3 times larger.
They're huge.
Yeah.
But
Well, that and as I said in the beginning of the movie, there is a shot when they first meet up that does not look like they are on the same stage. It looks like one of those split frame things where you double a single actor.
Yeah.
Because they're just there's like a perfect line in the scene between them that
Yeah.
would hide that split, and they're just far enough.
they never
that- yeah.
interact. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're what, like 2.5 feet away,
Yeah.
and they stay 2.5 feet away in the entire scene.
That and they never touch, and like I hate to say it, like I started having like weird Paul McCartney theories on this movie because like one of the brothers really looks like he's wearing a wig, and the other one looks like it's its natural hair. Now that could have just been like one of them is like, hey, check out this new haircut, and they're like, Dick, we got to make a movie. Like we're supposed
Also,
to be
our
twins.
entire shtick is
Yeah.
that we're twins.
Right, yeah. So they might have slapped a wig on him. Who knows the backstory there? But like I said, when this movie started, I was like, oh my god, there was only one barbarian brother, and he was carrying the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, one does have like a more mutated head than
Yeah.
the other one. So
But
I don't
the one that's the criminal generally is almost always dressed in a suit. He doesn't start that way, but he has to at one point go back to his apartment and get his proper clothes when he gets broken. We're skipping all over the plot, but he gets caught by his brother cat burgling I'm skipping ahead, but like Roddy McDowell, I said it right this time. Chamberlain steals this key thing, takes it back and hides it in his diamond business that's in this like super high security building. This cat burglar brother guy breaks in, steals it, doesn't know what he's stolen, waves at the camera and all this so they know who he is, and then gets caught by his brother trying to, because he calls the cops every time on his way out.
He's like the wet bandits.
Yeah.
He has to leave a calling card.
Right.
So he's spray painted a cat on the wall, and
He doesn't
literally
even leave a
called the
calling
cops.
card. He just straight up calls the cops.
And then spray paints like in the
Maybe he
stairwell
used a
to
calling
the
card.
roof.
To
But he spray
down the
paints
middle.
in the stairwell to the roof with the arrow. So when the brother shows up and is able with his partner, who is, I guess they just like left a like a prostitution sting or something, because
Must
the way
have.
she's dressed is just like
Yeah,
you have
she's-
to be a prostitute.
She's got
but-
platform shoes on, and she clearly doesn't know how to walk in platform shoes, and she's wearing streetwalker clothes. I mean,
Yeah, but it's also like so you just call everybody off. Like whoever's the closest has to go. It's very strange.
yeah.
But either
he-
way,
he didn't know it was his brother coming. He's just done
Yeah.
all this to fuck with whatever cop has decided to show up. It just happens to be his twin brother. They find out it's the how did you get out of jail? Oh, good behavior. And then he's like, I'm going to take you back in, and starts shooting at him comically because it's that kind of movie. Wings him in the shoulder, and then eventually he just plans a jump off the side of the building and
Yeah.
gets away, but doesn't really get away because he gets caught and taken to jail. And eventually it's like, this is meet your new partner, kind of situation. For whatever dumb reason, he says he has information on this ring that might help whatever case he's being put on. It's one of those trite,
yeah. The thing is, he does not realize what he's stolen,
right?
but they're trying to track it down somehow, and they think that he has information about it. So he's like, "Yeah, I do, of course," and then that
Yeah, and-
sets the two of them up as being partners, along with a guy named Whitney from the FBI.
right. And I don't know, like, they seem to have a different cop because this police station is full of that guys. Like the son of the beach is there, and like
Yeah.
a bunch of other people are like, oh my god, it's an Arquette, and like other people are here. Not one of the Arquettes you know quickly by name, but the
Louis
the
Arquette.
father.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Yeah, and like there seems to be another, like there is a black chief or something that's I thought was going to be the angry captain guy,
Me too.
but then Scotty, James Doohan, is actually the captain, and he's a little more mellow. He gets introduced with the line that BJ used for the opening line. Pretty much, he's like, kind of. I think maybe that was supposed to be an in joke of like for people that are like, why doesn't Scotty sound like Scotty?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay,
It had to be.
all right. I guess
because that was his
yeah.
first. That's his. Because this is his first movie since like 1971 that wasn't a Star Trek movie.
Okay, all right. So clearly he was just like, I'm not doing the fake Scotty voice,
Right.
So take that out as you will. So they put a joke in about.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, he's your partner now, and also take Whitney here from the FBI. He's going to shout at you. This is where we get the I need my clothes. And what I was getting to is he goes back to his apartment. There's a guy waiting for them, but as soon as he puts on his suit, the whole time with this possibly wig that this guy's wearing, or at least just incredibly badly seated haircut. I mean, if it really is his own hair, it looks like it's sitting up on top of his head. He looks like Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like,
I
look,
like it.
I'm just a jewel thief. I don't understand anything about hotel room keys. But yeah, so.
But after he's got his clothes on, they send Whitney to go get shoes because the whole time the policeman brother does not trust him at all because he knows that he's going to try and escape, which he's already tried to do when they went in the bathroom.
Yeah. Also, his house has been ransacked. Not that it really matters, but clearly whatever he's taken, the people want it because
he pointed at the camera and waved.
Yeah, and
so
did
know who
the
they're
Star
looking
Lord
for.
like ramp up your middle finger,
crank out the middle finger. Yeah.
Yeah. So they know who he is. They know what he looks like, and I guess they know where he lives because they ransacked his house. But turns out he had the key in his suit jacket pocket, I guess.
Or I think at this point he put it in a safety deposit box.
Oh, that's right.
Because
Yeah,
they show him go back to
you're right.
a bank or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
But yes, random guy pops out. They end up sticking these like one of those muscle spasm creating electrode things. Either chiropractors or muscle therapists use them, and or people used to think you could use them to build muscles without actually doing workouts. Just because maybe it works. I don't know. I'm not a fucking scientist.
I don't think it does.
Yeah. Anyway, he's got one of these because he's supposedly one of the two that takes the easy way out, and they strap to this guy to get information and crank it up, and he gives them a name, and now they know where to go. And the name they give him is It's weird because I am 99% sure everyone in this movie calls this guy Tito. In the credits, he's listed as Reg. Tito is the actual guy's name.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
But it definitely says Tito.
Yeah, I mean, in the movie it does. Like, I mean, I know.
Yeah, they called him Tito in the movie.
Okay, in the movie he's listed, or the credits he's listed as Reg. They do not call him that. I'm pretty sure because he's also a guy that shows up in a lot of Robert Rodriguez movies.
Yeah.
So
they do not call him Reg at all.
It's one of those like, hey, it's that guy from like Desperado and stuff. Anyway, like he is like the head of security because the last guy failed, and it's one of those like, oh, you failed me, blam, next. Like why anyone would ever want to move ahead, and we talked
Same
about
as,
like
in the Empire, like you never want to get promoted in the Empire,
right? Yeah, like who wants to be an admiral in the fucking Empire and work near Vader? Absolutely fucking nobody, because you're gonna get force choked. And similar to like I think it was last week's movie, we were talking about how excellence is generally not rewarded. Like in this case, you in this Empire or this organization, you do not want to get promoted at least ahead of security because anything goes wrong and you're going to be executed and next. And this guy's the next guy, and they just kind of bust into his place with the information, fuck some shit up. I don't even remember like what they're like. They follow some people. Like there's a whole bunch of like they follow and tail somebody here. Like they follow somebody to a spa. I don't remember where they get all this information.
They
follow.
I think they go to Tito's place first. I think.
Yeah,
they get that from the guy that they zapped. But
and that's when they bust in, and Tito decides to rappel down the side of the building to get away, along with another guy who they try to keep pulling the rappelling cords up because they're bodybuilders, so they're
so they're
doing
strong.
the tug of war basically, trying to pull him back up until Tito just shoots the guy. But the way that they stop Tito from getting away is one of them rips the satellite dish off of the roof and chucks it down at the car.
Yeah, and we're not
It's the
talking
cop one.
Dish Network, DirecTV. This is an old,
No,
like,
the old school.
F-band, like, big
Yeah.
satellite.
This isn't the giant one in your yard, but this is
Pretty
like
close, yeah.
like still like 5 times the size of one of those DirecTV dishes.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
big enough to destroy a windshield, which is what it does.
Right. But then that guy just like pushes it out of the windshield and drives off anyway.
Yeah, with no windshield.
Right.
Yeah, and they're going to try and catch him, but because the cop brother had handcuffed the other brother to the steering wheel, he took the steering wheel with him, and then they forgot it upstairs, and so they could not chase him because the car
Right.
had no steering wheel.
Yep. Ensue comic music, which is as good a time as any to talk about the soundtrack and kind of sound effects you get throughout this, because while this is a rated R movie, I believe, because multiple people are like, I'm sick of this fucking shit and things like
Yes.
that. I mean, it's not ever really violent, or there's no
Well, there's
nudity
enough
or
bloody people getting shot.
yeah, I mean, there's some skimpily clad ladies and stuff like that, but there's no nudity or sex or anything like that.
Yeah.
The closest there is to sex is like the cop brother,
Oh God, we forgot to
Yeah.
talk about that scene.
because clearly his partner just is like, well, like, I'm gonna go meet this old, heroin addict who's got some information about myself in a train yard. I'm 1 week from retirement, and my baby's on the way, and then we're getting married, and I just bought a boat. But
all the above.
yeah, but yeah, she goes and gets killed, and then when he, to blow off steam, he goes home and works out. He, sees his attractive neighbor from next door, and makes eye contact weirdly, but then goes in and like cranks out the most aggressive, like he basically has a sex scene with his weight bench. I mean, because like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like, "Hurrah!" Like, I mean, take every Gold's Gym thing you've ever, and then just put it in like
Right.
a 6
Multiply
by
it by 10.
yeah, and then like put it in a 6x4 apartment, and then like this lady next door is just like, whoa, he's not just cranking one out, like he's got a factory going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the lunk alarm in the next town over
Yeah.
would have been going off.
Yeah, but so that's the closest we get to a sex scene, is him and
Yeah.
his weight bench.
They also say fuck a couple times so
yeah.
that But anyway,
I mean, at some point, like they go and see Roddy McDowell pretty early on. Like they see him meeting with this construction dude, right? And then they're like, well, let's follow the construction guy because I don't really know what his deal is or something, but this
Yeah.
guy's supposed to be legitimate or something, so they follow the construction
Well,
guy.
what happens is they have a name, and so the cat burglar brother knows that this guy is always eating lunch at this place,
Right.
and so that's where they follow him, and that's when they see Roddy McDowell with him, and they go, "Oh, well, we need to follow this." Where they get the tie from that guy? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they
I
follow.
know how they find it.
Yeah, they follow the construction guy, which then they follow him and see him meeting with like a city council person. And,
Right,
'cause he's
they're
just
at
like,
in the gym, in the sauna.
yeah, he's like, I know him. I voted for him. Let's go. Like, I guess they're just like, let's pick off the easiest target because they're like, we can intimidate the city council person easiest out of these people. So they go and like put on weird. It almost looks like they went and like got the Brute Squad robes or whatever from like Princess Bride. I mean, it was just like it's like
they've just got big, like they've got a bunch of sheets wrapped around them. Like,
but they put on
and
like
then-
the tanning booth goggles and
Right.
stuff, like
Mhm.
almost like, so they're like almost wearing like these monk cult outfits or whatever, and
yeah,
and
just
tie,
to be intimidating
and tie this guy into a tanning bed, basically.
right.
Yeah.
And hilariously, he gets fucking roasted by the tanning bed. So for the next 3 minutes that we see him, he is lobster red.
Yeah. And they've
Yeah.
also gone into his locker and shredded his clothing and
Right,
written
right.
like a hangman symbol with a thing that just says "you," which I was like, well, that's very Jack Handy.
Right. But in the meantime, somebody has called Tito and has been like, "Hey, Tito, kill that councilman. Take care of him." And Bill Mumy shows up in classic '90s Thunderbird,
Oh God.
the one that everybody hates, but
Yeah.
I have some love for it because of nostalgia for the '90s. Anyway, and Bill Mumy runs over him like 4 times in that thing, and
Well, he also pulls a
now
Prometheus and just tries to run straight away from the car instead
is
of
true.
dashing into an alleyway or any of the open areas to his left or
yeah.
right.
Yeah, he's in L.A. with like overly complicated, fancy entrances and stuff where there's all
Yeah.
kinds of alcoves for plants and shit. There's all kinds of ways he could have dove out of the way.
yeah.
But no,
But
he
no.
deserves. He gets run over.
Yeah, his Danger Will Robinson alarm
Yeah,
didn't go off loud
Yeah,
enough.
he gets speed bumped a couple times.
Yeah.
and then they try to chase him, but immediately because one of the brothers calls for an ambulance, the ambulance is able to get there fast enough to block them in so they can't chase.
It wasn't even. It's because his dumbass was like when they were trying to find his car. Because along the way that they were fucking with his councilman, first they did they locked him in the tanning bed, then they shredded his clothes in the note, and then
They flipped his car.
they flipped his BMW like directly over. But they went to the attendant who they kept fucking with. Because, like, one of them walked in and was like, I'm a cop, I'm going in. And then the other one walked in and was like, did I just go in there? And the guy's just like, yeah, lets him in. But they ask, they're like, we have a bomb scare. Can you tell me which car is his? And that's when they get the information. That's why, like, all the cops and the ambulance and everything is showing up is because of the bomb scare. Because that security guard or whatever he is, like, out there, too. Like, oh, that's him. He's the one that called about the bomb. So they get thwarted by his own dumb, let me in the door.
Hoisted on his own petard.
Yes.
Hoisted.
So, I'm trying to remember where they go from there. Like, is this when they start following the construction guy, or?
Well, from here, the one brother just gets away.
Right. Yeah.
Right. The thief brother gets away.
No, this is when he goes to meet David Carradine. That's right.
Yeah. He goes to meet
And the
David
thief
Carradine.
brother goes, and we get the backstory on David Carradine, where David Carradine just fucking nails the entire scene that he's doing with this dumb lunk on the other side of the prison phone.
Yeah, and just to be clear, like, even between the two, there is one that's dumber than the other. Like, there's one that's...
This is the smart of the dumb ones.
No, I would say the cop one is the smart of the dumb ones. He's a better actor. Like,
Well, yeah.
I mean, he delivers stuff better. The other one just is like always like, open mouth breathing and like, hi. Yeah. Anyway,
Either way, they're not bright,
No.
but this one seems to be more capable than the
I love
cop
that we
one.
just did that. Like, yeah, which one do you like? I like the dumb one. Which one's that?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also he has retrieved the card from his safe deposit box, and that's when he asked David Carradine. He's like, "All right, what is this?" And he's like, "Where'd you get that?" He's like, "Well, I found it." And then he explains to him that there's only like 3 of these in the world, and they open the vault that has like literally $5 billion worth of diamonds, and he's like, "Billion?"
With a B?
Yeah.
He says it very loud in a room full of both cops and criminals.
Yes. Yeah. But that's where he finds out, okay, so, and then he's like, yeah, but you're never going to get to it. It's got armed guards everywhere. If you get locked in, it's going to take a damn construction crew to get you out. Don't bother.
And that's when he's like, construction crew.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that tips him off in his little steroid-riddled brain that, okay, I figured this out. Meanwhile, I guess Roddy McDowell has found the other brother.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how and why.
Because he has gone to the construction site already, because that was the only lead they had was
Right, that's
Mr.
right.
Kent, who they had followed.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
That's right. He went undercover for 3 seconds where
Yeah.
he grabbed a hard hat.
Yep. And
Yep.
then he got
And it was
clumped
like,
in the...
look, I'm inconspicuous. All you guys know me, right? Like, you've clearly seen this very obvious looking person here every single day.
I mean, honestly, like in the 90s, he probably could have just walked through that construction site looking like that. Who knows?
In his little half Raiders shirt. I mean, like,
oh yeah, definitely.
It was, as in a Oakland or L.A. Raiders. I don't know where they are nowadays.
Yeah.
Are they in Las Vegas now?
Las Vegas.
But it was like a crop top. essentially.
Yeah, a guy looking like that, he's still holding over from the 80s. If he's working construction, just stay out of his way. Hard hat, like PPE. That's your ticket to get in just about anywhere. PPE and a clipboard.
Yeah, they're like, why would you wear this otherwise?
Right. Life pro tip
Come
for
on.
you guys out there. Steal everything.
Yeah. But anyway,
I made a fortune during the pandemic.
he looks in the back and sees a bunch of explosives, and then gets clunked in the face by Bill Mummy again, and now he's captured, and Roddy McDowell is like, all right, where's my card? I know you have it. And he's like, you got the wrong guy. It's my twin brother. And they're just like, are you fucking serious? Are you even trying this? And they're like, that's really entertaining. Where the fuck's the card?
And then
And then
the other brother shows up.
The other brother shows up, and they're like,
Huh.
well, I'll be damned.
Yeah. Like, out of 1,000 times we've seen this is the first time that somebody's actually been telling the truth about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he does, of course, the dumb thing, which is put the gun down or I shoot your brother. The brother goes,
Okay.
kill him. And he goes, And he puts the gun away, and it's basically, all right, now you're both disarmed, and we've tied you up, and that's it for you. Instead of just fucking shoot the dude.
Right.
Except,
But also, the dude doesn't just kill them immediately.
no. Well, isn't this when Whitney jumps back in and saves him? Like,
Eventually, because they like Roddy McDowell leaves. He's like, all right, time to go do the thing, and he's like, hey, Bill Mummy, take care of them. And as he's escorting them out, they start arguing with each other and eventually overtake the two guards that are with him. And one of them gets shot by Bill Mummy immediately. And the other one gets into a long fight with whichever barbarian brother that is. I think the one in the suit.
sure.
Yeah. And while the other one chases Bill Mummy. And eventually Bill Mummy gets the drop on this guy. But he ends up getting shot by Whitney, who we haven't really talked about very much.
Yeah. He got knocked out comically during the when the guy jumped out of the closet. Like that, basically, that guy jumped and did the from off screen punch to the face, and he was out.
Well, the thing about Whitney is very much played like a non-sociopathic Patrick Bateman.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, hey, man, this is cool.
Yeah.
I'm super preppy, but life's great. My dad got me a job in the FBI, like.
Or he's the white Will Smith in Bad Boys. I mean, it's just like he comes from money and he doesn't really need to be a cop. He just or whatever he just is. Like,
yeah, but he got knocked out and early on by the guy, and they just kind of left him. And then there is one of the few actual laughs that we got was when the brother checked, like they come back and the other dude has been murdered, his throat's been slit, and then they check on Whitney and he goes, "Oh damn, he's alive."
Yeah, it's one of the few like scripted jokes that actually works really well.
Yeah. But Whitney got fired from the case once they lose the other brother.
And he was just like, "Yeah, I kind of figured that'd be the case."
Yeah.
And he's got his head all
His
wrapped
head's
up.
all
like,
wrapped
yeah.
Yeah, it stays that way for the rest of the movie. And when he has this heroic like busted and saved them at the last second with a shotgun.
And I mean, he comes out and he jumps out from behind a thing and shotguns Bill Mummy in the chest, kills him, and they're like, "Whitney, yes!" And he goes, "Yeah, I got sick of waiting in the car." And then they're like, "Go get help!" And he runs away and like trips over a trash can, like over a barrel, trying to get away.
It's a red barrel. He's lucky it didn't explode. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, he trips over that and runs away, and he's like, "Yeah," giving him the thumbs up.
While we're talking about red barrels and things, there was a dumb gag. Like there was one point where he breaks into the construction guy's safe and gets a bunch of information and steals a little detonator cap. And he's just explaining like who and why would have. Actually, I think it's Roddy McDowell's safe. Anyway, it's somebody's safe, but he finds this like blasting cap thing, and he's explaining to the cop brother, the criminal brother, explaining what they would be used for construction or setting off other large explosives. Like, oh, but by itself, it's not that not that dangerous, and just casually tosses it out the car into another car, which then comedically explodes. Comedically explodes, but yeah,
Big explosion too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's in the background. It's like barely even focused on. It's one of those weird ones where it's like, wow, you spent a lot to blow that car up, and then you barely showed it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the background gag is the best gag.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just thinking another dumb little things that were running throughout this movie. Yeah.
But so they know that he's gonna go. They're gonna rip off the Diamond Exchange because being a bad guy, he had to tell them his plan. Well, actually, he doesn't. But the one brother just says it because he knows.
Yeah. Because
he knows that's where the key works. Because now they've taken the key back from him. And so they call the cops like, "Get there! You got to stop them from doing this." And turns out it's the Die Hard 3.
Yeah, I mean that basically is kind of the plot they're doing is they're tunneling in to this diamond exchange from underground and using like a subway tunnel or one that's under construction or something like that, and just blaming the trouble or like they worked with the right people to get permits. I mean, it's not exactly Die Hard 3 because they were going after gold and this is diamonds, but it's still a shitload of money and it's a way to escape underground with it on using like city transportation because they've got like a Department of Power water truck and stuff that they're using to get away because like the guys get in and vacuum up all the diamonds and get the fuck away. I mean, like they did it. Like,
yeah, I love that they're just using basically a back-mounted shop vac
yeah,
to suck up all the
yeah.
diamonds.
And like all the cops are in front of this diamond exchange, like standing out front waiting for these people to show up,
Yeah.
including it's another that guy, but he's funny. Like I don't remember. He's just got like a coffee cup that just says "Damn, I'm good" on it or something like that. But he's another.
Yeah, he's like, we've secured
yeah,
this building.
I don't remember which that guy or what he's from, but
I do
it's,
like
yeah.
that when they blow up the concrete underneath the safe, they show him holding the coffee mug and it rattles and it's like shaking for a second. And then he's like, Jenkins! And Jenkins comes, he's like, get me some decaf. Like that's
Yeah,
the extent
like
that
they
the
didn't even
cops know
feel it.
anything.
It was just that he's jittery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they totally get the diamonds and get away, and they sneak out through this like rail yard. They've got a escape tunnel thing. Except the barbarian guys get there as they're getting away and clothesline like two guys that are trying to get away.
Yeah, it was unclear how many were there because they take those guys out and we're like, oh, we're going to get them. And then all of a sudden it's like, nope, they're already in the truck and they're gone. And they get locked into the subway somehow. I mean, they get out eventually, but...
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Like it gets silly because they end up like they chase him to like a private airport type situation.
They don't even chase them. They just kind of show up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where it
because
finishes.
it's night now, and Roddy McDowell is celebrating with the crew.
Popping the champagne with all of his other criminal masterminds, only one of which we've actually seen in this movie. It's the construction guy, like the city councilman or whatever. All his only thing was like to get a signature onto a permit. That's it. He just got paid for that and wasn't part of anything else that was going on. So it's all these other cronies sitting around. He's like, gentlemen, may we toast to our success and everything. You know, it's too bad some of these other people like Bill Mummy didn't make it and everything, but it means more for us. Anyway, with that sentiment, with no, possibly foreshadowing intended, just go ahead and take a sip. And they all do, except for the construction guy who doesn't drink for other reasons, I guess. AA construction, I guess. But
well, and he also knows if he drinks, he's going to get poisoned.
well, that too. Maybe he is the one smart person in this crew. But yeah, everyone else drinks the champagne, and like 7 or so just immediately. It's that fast acting poison.
Yep.
And then he's just like, "Oh, you don't drink? That's right." Blam.
Yep.
And then he's got like, I mean, supposedly they have stolen $5 billion worth of diamonds. Now I know they don't have the money yet, but clearly they have money to have facilitated all of this. Why did they buy the dinkiest fucking golf cart? Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, that is the saddest little like golf cart I've ever seen, and then just like precariously loaded the diamonds onto the passenger seat on the back, and I'm like, that's like. I mean, first
and
off,
they're in
like
little plastic containers like that I put my dog food in.
It's not. I mean, it's a lot of diamonds because of what the value of diamonds. It's not like we've explained like what $1 million or $2 million in like 20s or hundreds, how it takes up a lot of space. Like this is a carryable amount by like one person.
Yeah, you could fit $5 billion worth of diamonds like
in a duffel bag or something.
In a duffel bag, in some cargo shorts.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's not, you don't really need the vehicle, and it's just, I don't know, it's this silly, dinky little golf cart he's got. But anyway, they show up and are like, you're not getting away, and he tries to bribe them, basically, and so one of them responds with, like, what, these right here, and, like, shotgun blasts one of the containers.
Yeah.
Then he starts to act like he's hypnotizing the criminal brother. Look at how shiny they are. It's like they don't even reflect light. It's like they're emanating light. And then he's like, you forgot to say you're getting very sleepy. And then he's like, I'm not buying it. And
and that's when Roddy McDowell clips him in the shoulder.
Yeah.
And
Well,
takes
actually,
off.
it's the pilot.
Oh,
Roddy
that's
McDowell was running away, and they have done the same thing to his private plane that they did to the city councilman's BMW. They've taken the plane and flipped it completely upside down, but with the pilot sitting inside, going, "Help! I'm strapped in." It's the pilot that wakes up and shoots the brother while he's still upside down.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah,
And he promptly gets killed by the other brother.
Yeah.
And Roddy McDowell gets away.
Yeah.
So he checks on him. He's like, I'm not mad at you anymore, brother. And he's like, go get him. So then this is kind of it's almost the man with the golden gun thing, where he's kind of creeping around and he's able to step out of the shadows and take aim at him. And
yeah. It's a little like Enter the Dragon mirror room too, but without the mirrors. I mean, they're just there's some panes of glass like around the room and stuff, like occasionally casting a reflection, but not enough to like it should disorient anyone in the actual situation.
Yeah, but he takes so long to take aim to shoot at this this freaking big hunk of meat slapping around.
Impossible to miss.
Yeah, that the brothers are able to spin around and shotgun him and defenestrate him through the window behind him, which is always satisfying when a guy gets, when it's not just a defenestration, it's you got shotgun blasted into a defenestration.
Yeah, where they are and what this has to do with an airport, like why it's connected to this hangar or whatever, I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
Yep.
The bad guy still gets blasted through a window.
Yep.
And then they do this like weird light thing where it's like first they do the like, is he going to get back up shot? You know, because they just do this like they don't really show his face. They just do like
show
dead,
the hand
like a dead
holding
hand.
some diamonds.
Yeah, holding some diamonds like with the grip going away. All the broken glass everywhere and blood. But then like the light comes up like because dawn is coming.
Supposed to, it's
dawn
supposed
is
to have
coming.
been like dawn suddenly happened right then.
But it's like the way it's framed. It's like, but then suddenly he was called back to his home planet, like he's being raptured or something after from taking the diamonds. And then they show the sunrise coming up, and the scene transitions to different lights everywhere else. But it was like I thought, is he coming back to life with the help of Jesus, or the emanating light from the diamonds? Like what is happening here?
None of us know.
Did he get Ms. Marvel powers?
But no, it's daytime now, and the other brother walks out and sees a trail of diamonds on the ground, and the cat burglar brother has stolen the golf cart and is taking off with it, and he starts chasing after him in a crane shot, and they freeze frame on that.
Yep.
To more of the same shit music they've been playing.
Oh yeah,
but
just
ramped up even higher.
A new track.
Yeah, it's the refrain.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have refrained from hiring that guy.
I think it's the reprise.
Yeah, that's it. But man, but the drummer's wailing away on this, and so's the guy on the guitar.
Yeah, it still sucks though.
Yeah, it does.
That's the thing. Like, I know the individual performance takes skill, but it's extraordinarily generic.
Yeah, it's without any heart.
Right. It's still the whole music from hell, but
it's sort of like if you were to get like 4 or 5 really talented jazz musicians together and just put them together with no intentions of playing together. It's like they're all gonna like kind of whip ass at what they do, but it's not gonna come together into any kind of
it's not a
harmony.
cohesive music.
Yeah, and this is just like everyone is just like, all right, play whatever your thing you're at the best you can.
Yeah.
It sounds like studio musicians, and it's probably some guy that the composer knew, or some guys that the composer knew were like, hey, you're extraordinarily good at the drums, you're extraordinarily good at the guitar, just play some noodly shit, just do that for like 4 minutes, and I'll give you $4,000 or whatever studio musicians get paid.
In 1992.
Right, in 1992.
Yeah.
7 sandwiches.
Yeah, I do like that the cat burglar brother asks the other brother, how much they pay you to do all this cop stuff. He goes, starts at $23,000, and he goes, a month?
I actually think he starts with a day. He's like, a day? He's like, no, a year. He's like, they let you shoot. You let people shoot at you for that?
He says a week.
Oh.
Is it? We've covered every unit of time.
I thought it was a day, which because I was like, I thought maybe he was pulling out a kind of cake. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
either way,
it's not $23,000.
No.
Anything except
less
for
than a year. Yeah.
I got a weird feeling about this. I don't dislike this movie. Right?
Me neither.
I think it's kind of fun, but I don't recommend it.
Okay.
Right? And that's why I'm very carefully giving this one bag. Because
bags.
A bag. Yeah. I don't dislike it, and I don't want to give it a big negative score because I didn't hate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's just barely bad in that it is inconsequential. Unless you're like if you're a huge Barbarian Brothers fan for some reason, you've probably already seen it, so you don't need my recommendation.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with them as well. We have watched Think Big, no doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
And we have watched The Barbarians.
Yes.
I could not tell you a single thing that happened in either of those movies.
Correct. And in 27...
Literally nothing except that theme song. But you don't even know which one that was in.
Yeah.
That was Think Big, though. we're pretty sure.
No
You
doubt
got
about
to,
it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like you got to think big. No doubt about it. I think that was in the rap, like them making that weird noise.
Even then, that would be the only reason you know it is
Well,
because of
sure.
that song. If we had not made a video of that song,
Okay.
I would know nothing about either of those
There's
movies. So that speaks
possibly-
to his point.
There's possibly a reason these guys didn't have a long and storied action film career, or I mean, action or action comedy
And I hate to say, Chuck
Right.
has just corrected us in the chat and said it's the Barbarians.
with the. Ooh. Oh, okay,
So it wasn't even Think Big.
fine.
But that speaks to BJ's point that you will not remember this.
Right. Here's what I'll tell you. This is what I'll do in lieu of giving it a good rating.
Okay.
I'm still giving it a bag,
Okay.
right? One bag. Watch all the Barbarians Brothers movie in a weekend. The Barbarian Brothers' movies. Watch all of these guys' movies.
The
In a weekend.
Barbarians Brothers movies
Yes.
in a weekends.
Yes. Do it with your friends. Just like make a day out of it. Like that. Pick a day that you would normally watch the Lord of the Rings movies, and watch these instead.
Yeah.
Or just take a day off in the middle of the week. It could be Tuesday.
Well, just and think about this when you're doing this. These guys got 3 movies in the era where it wasn't like you could just make a movie. It wasn't like, Clerks, where let's max out some credit cards and make a movie. These are 3 actual on film hired staff. There was probably catering movies that starred these fucking guys.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
They had
How do we live on this
honey
earth?
wagon. I mean, this isn't
Yes.
just fly by night.
Yeah, it's true.
They had catering. That's how you know it's a real movie.
And a composer.
If there's actual catering.
wasn't good. It
And
wasn't
some
a good
son of a
composer.
bitch composer who knew some session musicians who
Yeah.
could
I
jam
hope
the
that
fuck
composer
out.
is decomposing now. I mean, maybe not. That might be harsh.
I think he's still alive.
Okay.
He just didn't work again. But yeah, I that's just what's amazing to me is we have and there's another movie with these guys that was made, and what a time the late 80s early 90s were, where they're just like you almost wonder if they're like, I wonder if we could get Right Said Fred in a movie. No,
Probably.
we can get the Barbarian Brothers. They're like, fine, get those brothers on the phone. Let's do this.
I just and also, like, this script is so fucking boring. Like, it's a comedy movie with a vaguely heist / detective story.
I mean,
Plot.
Well, and also,
it's
like-
not like it's a new thing. I mean, every fad person that's ever come along has gotten shoehorned into a movie. It's maybe not in a starring role. I mean, maybe that's a little unusual to be like, here's a vehicle for you. But I mean,
Well, I mean, like you think about that one chick that was on the first season of Survivor that ended up in that Rob Schneider movie.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we put Cindy Crawford in a movie. I mean,
Well, I'd say Cindy Crawford had a little more cachet than the one girl that didn't even win the first season of Survivor.
well, yeah, but I mean,
Cindy Crawford
any
was
more
bigger than Jesus.
any more deserving to be there when you see the end product? No.
No,
Yeah.
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just saying, like, your looks do
Correct,
not make
but-
acting skills. So.
correct. But Cindy Crawford was a bigger international
Sure.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
We know her name.
Right.
Sure.
That's more than I can
Right.
say
Yeah.
for the girl who didn't win season 1 of Survivor. That was in Rob Schneider's The
Colleen
Animal.
something, I think. I don't remember
More
last
than
name.
anybody else knows, except
Yeah.
for her mother, and whoever stole money from her. I'm sure.
Anyway,
Yeah, but yeah, one bag.
one
by the
bag.
way,
Okay.
see it if you want, but you should make a thing of it if you're gonna see it. Don't just like go out of your way to watch this one Barbarian Brothers movie. It's not worth it.
Make it a Barbary weekend.
Yes.
So, I don't know how I'm finding myself in this position, but
I know.
Two
think
jocks.
I knew you were gonna give it 2 jocks. I was trying
Two
not to
big-
say you're gonna give it 2 jocks, aren't you?
2 big meaty fucking lunks gets it 2 jocks.
2 big meaty jocks.
Yes. Girthy jocks. pumped up jocks. But no, it's two. I mean, this is one you can have fun riffing on. That's the thing about it. You know, every time the music started up, we did the keyboard cat thing because that's just what, like, it sounded like something fucking keyboard cat would be playing.
And then I pivoted into the Rocket Fire Explosion because when all the other instruments kicked in, it sounded like a whole band of it.
Yep. But I mean, it's stupid. It's really, every movie with these guys is stupid, but it's also, I think everyone involved knows this is stupid. And there's something to be said for that. You know, like, and I wonder if James Doohan was just like, ah, shit, we actually made the last one of those Star Trek movies. We're not coming back, are we? And then was like, well, shit, I guess I need some money. And it's only one day of filming.
Had they done 6 by then? I guess was it 91?
Yeah, it was 91.
I can't imagine he was hurting for money, but you do want to keep your, like, SAG card and your insurance going,
I guess.
probably.
Maybe he was just trying to give the finger to the studios. Sorry, that's too obscure.
No,
for me at least.
He was missing.
Yeah, I know, the middle
right?
finger. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But you know, David Carradine, they got all these people to be in it, and they just had to be like, "Oh, I guess it's a day. I guess I get a free catering."
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's just it's weird to me, but I still like it. Two jocks.
I will admit I was so neutral. I mean, I was so Switzerland on this that, like, I was literally just waiting for your rating to help facilitate the neutrality.
So now you're gonna go one bag just to
kind of have to. Like, I mean, it was a one bagger or one jocks. That's, I mean, like, and it really didn't. It didn't matter one way or the other. It just, I didn't want it to edge too far into one direction or the other. And my giving it a jocks now would just be like, that's too much for this movie.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry to throw you off. So what if I had gone one jocks? Then what would you do?
I don't know. Then I'm in a quandary.
You would just like refrain. I'm not gonna vote.
I gotta get right with God then.
But so you're going the BJ method of you can watch it if you want. It's your life. Maybe there are more people that are the target demo for these kinds of movies than I think. But I like the it's very childish, but yet you made it an R-rated movie thing will always baffle me. Mm-hmm. Like, I call it the John Badham movie syndrome because, like, so many of his movies are like that, where it's just like, dude, like, if you just take a couple of fucks out, like, you've got a whole bunch more people seeing this. Well, I mean, just words like that, and that's all, you know, like. But yeah, and like I said, I'm not saying like kowtow to get more things, but when you're like these are your cartoony Barbarian Brothers are your stars. It's just like, I don't know why you're shooting for like anything above like a 12-year-old seeing this. I mean, going, it's kind of the Hudson Hawk thing, where it's like this is super cartoonish, but here we have rape jokes. You know,
like I said,
wait, what is happening here?
I think maybe that's possibly why I have such a weird soft spot for that movie because. That's new. Sorry, it's just like I don't know why.
That is new.
But no, like for a second ago, it had Mackie and it had arrow pointing at him, and I was just like, whoever said that, that's funny. It just I looked up like,
oh shit!
I just look up and I see that, and I'm sorry through my
pretty good.
yeah.
Whoever did that is a good person.
It was probably Chuck, and he's up there in the corner.
Probably
that's him in the corner. But yeah, it just maybe that was like the first movie I ever saw like that, where I was like, "Who is this movie for?" And I just somehow fell in love, like because it was like I guess it's for me because I like it. It's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this one, it's not funny enough or goofy enough to be like any better than like I don't know why out of all the stupid movies that this could make me think of, the first thing that popped in my head is fucking Collision Course, the Jay Leno movie. Like, I'm just like, you could watch that instead. It's about as good. I mean, just like, there's like these like silly kind of semi-action comedy things that are mostly bad, like, but still shot kind of well. Like, yeah. I don't know. Or Second Sight. Like, I mean, just like all these like movies that are like.
Wait a minute. Man, on Second Sight? Fuck it, we're not friends anymore.
I mean, it's
get out of my
fine.
House.
It's just
these
are like good background like movies. They're not like, dude, like never once in your life you'd be like, dude, you gotta see Second Sight. It's just like, yeah, you can watch that.
I have actually.
All right,
I like Second Sight.
Okay, That's the one with Balky where he's psychic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fucking weird. That's why I like it.
All right.
Hey, and John Larroquette.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
never seen this movie.
I've
never even heard of this movie.
Well, I'm
like
sorry
John
for,
Larroquette.
I'm sorry for bringing up weird, obscure, action comedies from the 80s and 90s.
Oh, from the director of
Yeah.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Second Sight.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to reuse a joke, except that it's one of the best jokes I've ever heard someone say. For someone who also got slapped for saying one of the worst jokes I've ever said, Chris Rock, when he was on Jay Leno, Jay Leno started to make fun about one of his bad movies. He was like, wait a second, like, the movie you were in went straight to audio.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And I was like, oh, that's, yeah. Anyway,
So, one bag.
yeah, one bag.
Is your
Yeah.
final.
That's my
rating.
final answer.
Okay.
Lock it in.
So, a true neutral rating.
Lock it in.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. Cool.
Awesome.
Well, you know what I have no doubt about?
What's that, BJ?
That's that you should give us a call on the Garfield phone at 910-5JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263.
What if they want to email us?
Oh.
How should they do that?
Well, they could email us at bmf@bmfcast.com. That is our email address.
That's a good, easy one to remember.
It is. You know what else is easy to remember?
What?
Patreon.com/BMFcast. Also, easy to remember, we are broke. Send us money.
It is easy to remember, isn't it?
Anyway, Patreon helps support the podcast, helps us get all of our equipment wrangled monetarily.
Was that
And-
Panhandle bot like a friend to joke
We
bot?
don't know.
Yes.
It's like,
Distant cousin.
Please
It
send
was,
us
it was
money.
poorly scripted ad read.
Please, please,
Yeah.
please, please.
I like poorly scripted ad read better than
Yeah.
Panhandle bot.
Yeah, but it also has all of it. It's got an archive of so much shit.
Oh God,
So much
many.
of our shit is archived there. Things that are nowhere else. And when you sign up, you are granted access to it immediately.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all the archives. Yeah, you don't have to like wait or anything. Just
No.
It's
yeah,
like,
give
it's
us-
like a
Yeah,
golden ticket to the Wonka.
Like I could not
archives.
imagine if you're a new subscriber, because not only are all the extras there, including a whole bunch that have never made it to the main feed, because usually they're on a time delay. There's a whole bunch there.
Right.
There's There's what, like 4 defunct podcasts that are all hiding out there somewhere.
yes.
Yeah. So if you do the RSS feed, don't tell it like unlimited, or at least be on
Oh,
Wi-Fi
God.
when you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're gonna get a whole shit ton of
Your
stuff.
phone will melt.
Yeah.
But
But
yes.
yes.
Patreon.com/BMFcast. Money.
Straight money. All right, let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ. And this is BMFcast out. Goodbye.
Farewell.
Oops, that was bad. That was better.
Better.
Thanks for remembering.
Sure.
All right, now I gotta actually look at these. Tap. You got Harlow.
I'm
is
up
that-
here.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I think he's. Oh! I see.
He's pointing when you're on the
yeah,
screen.
where we are on the screen. I gotcha. I get it.
Let me.
So Chuck's
call.
not really in the corner. He's just the Barbarian Brothers right now.
That's Chuck in the corner. Yeah.
Wait, what is? Oh, that's Jason. Okay. Yeah, that's me.
I like the.
Yeah, how'd you get the handwritten font? And I got.
Because he did it himself.
No, I didn't. It was Kyle.
It was Kyle all along.
This is harder than you'd think it would be. I'm trying to play along. And
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
no, Chuck's
What is
over
this
here.
behind it? I want to know what's behind Chuck. I gotta get closer to read it.
What is behind Chuck?
It looks like the middle of an LP.
Yeah, I was gonna say that does look like a. Is that a
Oh,
slip
yeah,
cover
it
from
is,
an
it
LP? Is that where you got the white from?
I think so. Yeah. Yes, it is. 'Cause it's
A
there.
slip cover from an LP. What? Hey! What? Hey! I mean, that's not the worst I've done. I mean, tonight. What was the oldest joke I made?
Tonight? Or-
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Richard Chamberlain references or
Possibly.
Lost in Space. I don't know.
I like the story, man.
Man, pinball.
I was looking through Cameo the other day. Yesterday, actually. And Claudia Christian is on Cameo for surprisingly cheap. Well, maybe not surprisingly cheap. There was somebody who was surprisingly cheap. They were like, it was like $50 for somebody that I actually knew. Cameo, for those not in the know, is a website where you can you basically pay a celebrity to give you a customized video message, and it's usually in vertical video, which sucks, but
It does.
you send it to your loved one, or someone you hate, or someone you're breaking up with. That's funny.
When you're requesting it, you've requested one. At least one of you has, right?
Yeah, we did it in my fantasy league.
Right. So do you give them any sort of script or what you want them to say?
You kind of do.
And
you
then-
basically give them a, hey, I want you to shout out.
Looking for a shout out.
We were doing it during the pandemic. We were getting celebrities to give, like, my pet turtle Starscream had run away, and so they got some porn star to console me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she sent me one from her hot tub where she's like, I heard your turtle Starscream got away, and I really want you to know she was using a bunch of innuendos and shit, because that's what the porn star would do if you hired him to do that. But yeah, it was very much like...
Hmm? What?
What? Huh?
He said,
They put it innuendo.
Yeah, but yeah, but what they wrote her was like, Mackey's going through a rough time. He lost his job, and his pet turtle Starscream ran away, and so that was what she sent me, was a cameo that was basically trying to cheer me
do
up.
you have that still?
So you were just like sending bullshit to each other, like basically?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're finding the like $20 ones and just trolling each other with them?
They were less. They were like $10.
Oh, nice.
These whores will work for.
Jesus Christ, Mackie. They're people too. Whores are people too.
I think you mean sex workers.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Hey man, I'm all about the cheap whores. I got no problem with it. But
Cheaper
yeah.
the better, Mackie says.
Yeah. What? Shit. What was her name? Holly Hotwife. That was the name. That was her name.
Oh,
Hot wipe?
Hot wife.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hot wipe. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was hot wipe, and I was like, I don't want to know.
I don't even know how I'd find it, because this is like, literally a 3-year-old text chat. So
Can you?
and I don't know if
just use-
Cameo stores them for very long, but yeah, but
Well,
like
you can use the overall search in your text and probably just look for that name.
yeah, but like what we
mean,
did,
just starts it up.
we had to pay like $100, but Jeff Garcia gave us shout outs at the end of the fantasy season, congratulating who won.
Who's Jeff Garcia?
He was a quarterback for the 49ers, who was kind of a legend because somebody drafted him way early when they shouldn't have, whatever year, and their
One of
team
those.
just sucked. And so it became a joke like, oh, who are you going to draft this year, Jeff Garcia? So we finally got Jeff Garcia to do us the thing, and he fucking
Nice.
killed it. He was so good.
Really?
He was just like, oh, God, because one of the teams is the San Francisco Sodomy, and he's like, the Sodomy? You guys are out of your minds, but I'm picking them to win this year. Like he was just like getting into it. He was almost like, he was like a cross between like a football announcer and a WWE announcer.
Love it.
And it was just fucking perfect. He's like, you guys are just a bunch of degenerates, but I like you. And it was good.
I wish
It was
I could
good
do
stuff.
cameos, but like not being famous. Like I wish people just pay me to.
You
send
probably
them
could.
stuff.
You probably could.
But like, I will give you $1 to do a cameo.
Oh yeah, like
It's called Fiverr.
Oh,
one of the dudes I only saw the screenshot of it. I didn't watch the video, but it was one of like a famous Packers fan who's always painted,
Okay.
and he would do these for like $4 or something, like something ridiculously cheap, and I'm just like, dude, have some self-respect. You got all painted up and all this shit, but he must like crank out like 20 of them at a time, just be like, all right, hey, happy birthday to the biggest Packers fan on earth aside from me, that
all
sort
right.
of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Painted, face painting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
face
was like,
painting.
I was having trouble following the narrative until
Yeah.
like I put it together that he's a cheesehead.
Yeah,
Face paint.
one of the they got Dave Wanstead to do one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But he wouldn't, like, some of the team names, he's like, I'm not saying that name.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, I don't blame you, Dave Wanstead.
Malcolm McDowell, $50. That's the one I saw today that I was like, holy shit. $50 for Malcolm McDowell?
I should request one where he admits to killing Captain Kirk. Did I not remember that joke?
Oh, Mankind there.
That
is
I
down there.
tried to
Foley.
break the ice with Malcolm McDowell, and yeah.
I remember.
I
you
just
telling
remember the
us that
sour ass
story.
face you gave me. I was like, dude, I was trying to be funny. That's not how I think of you.
You can get David Koechner will cost you twice as much money as Malcolm McDowell. I mean, David Koechner's pretty funny, but
Some people bring it.
it's
like,
it's just funny that like the disparity on some of these. Like there are some social media people who are like $800 or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, some of them are terrible. And like, who's one? Melissa Joan Hart killed it.
Really?
Yeah, we got
Was
her
she
to do
cheap?
one. I don't remember, but she was really good.
That's awesome.
Did
Yeah.
she explain anything?
I hope she explained it all.
But I
love
will
Melissa Joan
give this a caveat. One of us knows her husband, so that's probably why she did a little better job on it.
Gotcha.
Because I don't know like exactly how good or bad they are.
Is it possible to have the one that knows her husband replace her husband with me?
Doubtful.
Okay. Worth a shot.
Yeah, doubtful.
Worth a shot.
Can I sign her yearbook?
Doubtful.
Leah Thompson.
I think I've made every Melissa Joan Hart reference I can make now.
Leah Thompson, $125. I should pay that to see if she remembers having tacos with me in L.A.
Were either of her daughters with her?
No,
Who are also now famous.
I don't know. She's in the movies section.
The name sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
Go into IMDb.
No, Zoe.
TNT Tessa in season 3 of Amazon Prime's The Boys. Shane in Hallmark's Signed, Sealed, and Delivered.
Who is she in
TNT
The
Tessa.
Boys? TNT Tessa? I don't even know who's that.
I don't know. I haven't seen season 3 of The Boys yet. The Boys.
I don't remember who that is, but
Yeah, I just think. it'd be-
Oh, she was.
Don't say anything. Yeah.
Zoe Deutsch is Leah Thompson's daughter. If you ever see her in anything,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the Herogasm episode, and then one of the earlier ones. But yeah, I just don't remember which character she would have been.
was that the orgy thing?
Yeah.
Casper
Yeah.
Van Dien's $100. Oh, nice. I like that. It looks like what this studio will look like in 100 years, or 10. I don't know. Danica McKellar, $150.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Yep. It's weird, like when you grow up with like such a crush on somebody, and then they're like super fucking brilliant too.
Is she mathematician?
Yeah.
Is that what she is? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe she actually has like some. What would it be? Is it a theorem or what do they call that in math? Like a. It's like a thing, and she has some, like, whatever theorem or type thing named after her.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Code-named after her. Yeah.
Like Pythagoras?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
probably not quite that well known, but yeah.
The McKellarian theorem.
I think it's like she and someone else solved some thing that hadn't been solved for a long time. I don't know math.
Me neither. Math is for dorks. not accountants.
I know A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's the Pythagorean theorem.
In theory. In theory.
The thing that was burning in my brain, unbeknownst to me, apparently.
That one's kind of hard to get away from, though. I'm still looking for deals on campus.
Yeah, I had someone like question how you would do that, and like fucking like my brain was just like, it's right here, and I was like, where did that come from? How do I know how to find the length of one side of a triangle if you know the other two that quickly?
Pi r square. Pi r not square. Cornbread
Pi r
r
round.
square. Pi r round. Looking for a deal. Looking for a deal. Still looking for a deal.
What about Rachel Lee Cook? She's in Hallmark movies now. Can I get her cheap?
Probably.
Oh, wow. She was one of the twins.
One of the twins.
The twins.
The twins and the boys.
Man, did I just not remember season 3 now?
They were part of the flashback stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, all right. All right, now I'm with it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just, I was looking the other day. I was like, shouldn't there be a new season of this by now?
Well, yeah. Well, she has dark hair in that in the boys, and she's got blonde hair in like literally every other photo of her in existence. So that's why I was like, I don't know who this person is.
Jane Levy. Okay, let's see if Jane Levy. I'm sure
From
Jane Levy's
Monster Trucks?
Yes.
yes. No, Jane Levy. No doubt about it. Yeah, if you really want to get depressed, though, just go to the reality TV or creators section on Cameo and just look at what people are asking for these things. It's like, I'm a YouTuber.
Is
That's
Jane Levy the
$250.
tall lady? The tall, funny lady? Is that who
Yes.
that is? Okay. What is the name? Somebody has changed somebody that's in Monster Trucks. What's her name?
I don't know.
Something similar to that.
I don't know.
She has a similar name. Or like one of those names where I confuse it in my brain.
There's some random furry
Oh,
for $9. I gotta keep that in mind. Tay Zonde, still $25. Good job, Tay.
yeah. See, I was right. That's not Jane Levy. Is the person from Monster Trucks? I don't know who's it. Jane Lynch is the tall, funny lady.
Oh, okay, all right. My brain shut off
Oh.
Yeah.
apparently for that conversation.
I was thinking Jane Lynch as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all were like, "Oh, Jane Lynch, okay."
Yeah, but no, except my brain wasn't on the right page, and then I questioned it. It's like I must be wrong.
Heard the new Evil Dead's pretty good.
The new one, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Did you watch it?
not yet. Is
Oh.
it? It's a theater thing now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I read that it was going to be an HBO Max thing, and then the test screenings went so well that they were like, "You should probably release this."
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've heard it's also once again devoid of humor,
Okay.
and it's all gore, and I don't know. I mean, at least it's not a cabin out in the woods this time, because it's like it's like an apartment building or something. So.
I mean, I feel like the thing about the last Evil Dead movie, as much as I don't like it, is I feel like Ash versus Evil Dead wouldn't exist possibly without it. I feel like the blowback was like, all
Yeah.
right, yeah, let's do this now.
Yeah, and I feel like I guess they're like, you almost get the feeling like, okay, with Ash versus Evil Dead, we did everything we want to do comedy-wise with this.
Yeah.
So, which I still need to watch there were 3 seasons, right?
I feel like I never finished it either for some strange reason. I feel like I made it like most of the way through and like never
I
crossed
think
the
I got
finish
most
line
of the
for
way
some
through
reason.
the first season, but I never finished the second.
Did they do maybe they did a split second or last season,
Yeah.
and maybe I just didn't
I
watch
just
the
don't
second half or
remember
something?
now.
I don't
No,
know.
I need to look that up because it's going to bother me. But
Oh, that's right. I can turn that shit off.
I mean, we don't, whatever. It's
Yeah.
just, I have been
God, that was 2015
searing my
already?
retinas with work lately.
How many seasons? Show me the seasons.
I think it was 3.
30 episodes. Yeah, that had to be 3 seasons.
I don't
Man.
remember what that was on. Was that on
Stars.
Okay. Which probably means I don't have it on any
And it
streaming.
ended
thing.
on 2018. Been almost 5 years since it ended. April 29th, 2018 was the final episode. Weird, man. Time has no meaning anymore.
Time isn't on my side. No, it's not.
Yeah. And I was going to say before Doctor Strange 2, I want to say that premiere episode was the last thing Sam Raimi directed.
Probably was.
It was, I don't get what his deal is.
I think it's just like every time he's tried to step out of his wheelhouse, it hasn't done well for him, like, you know, financially, like box office wise, even though I think they're generally good movies.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't he do The Gift? That's a weird fucking movie. I mean,
Yeah, he did The Gift.
yeah, that's probably not A Simple Plan is what I'm thinking. Like, that's a really good movie.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, The Gift is known for two things.
Yep. Go figure. So, should we go offline?
All right,
Okay.
yeah.
Fine. If you insist. I
Good
have
night,
nothing else
everyone.
to say. Arrivederci, you sons of bitches.
I haven't actually even got close to clicking the stop button. I was just going to see how long we'd all wave. All right, bye.